Hey, so just wanted to show you real quick. This is the volume builder in Cinema 4D. Um, so uh, just to show you how quick and easy it is to use this thing, it's pretty damn impressive. I'm building this section, the plunger section. Um, I could probably go into ZBrush and do it, but I did it all here. Um, you can see the model. Just to show you what I did, these are the two volume builders that I used, and just to show you really really fast how it works. If I go in here, create a new cube, let me squash it down, and I'm just going to throw a sphere in here and put that out there like that, and then throw a cylinder in there and drop that in here like that and make it thicker, and then I'm going to throw another cylinder in here just like that and stick it there. So check this out. If I take all of these objects and I create, create a volume builder, which makes this right here, and then I take all these objects and throw them into the volume builder, I get this, which is a shape made of voxels instead of polygons. So I can select the volume builder, I can go into its settings, and I can lower the voxel size to make it more smoother. But basically now what it's done is it's fused everything into a single object, which is kind of slick. But even more slick is that I can then go in and do things like over here on this side, this top cylinder, where I've got options here for union. I can click on that. I've got union, subtract, and intersect. So if I say subtract, it's going to cut a hole in the shape we have instead of make it part of it. And I can even go in here, take the cylinder that we are using. Let me add some more height segments to it. And while this is all in here, I can hit C to make it a polygon object. Switch to a different view. Let's grab some of these guys, and just halfway through, I'm gonna scale it up just for fun, and do this, and maybe move these guys up and just do the same thing real quick. So I've got a little funkier shape. Excuse me, sorry, I can't talk. Okay, and then I go back to my object, and let me move it back down in here. So now we've got something that actually is creating a different shape based on this. Let's rotate it. And let's rotate it some more. There we go. So you can create these really cool shapes, and then you can go into the object. You can even add a smooth layer, which will smooth it out even more. And you've got complete control over that, so I can change the distance so it's not quite so mushy. I can even use subdivision surfaces, so I can throw one of those into, throw the whole thing into one of those and smooth it out. Or, which is what's really cool, let me take it out of there. Let's get rid of that. I can, once I'm done with this, then you throw that into a volume mesher, which actually creates then a mesh out of your geometry. That's this. We're going to close this project up. Don't save it, and go back to what I have. So just to show you what I did was, I'm going to turn everything else off here. So let's go and throw these into limbo. Let's turn the camera back on. Okay. So here's my object right here, and you can see I actually have something selected which I don't want. There we go. So you can see that I mean, it's a pretty complex piece of geometry. Obviously, it's got a lot of polygons right now, but just to show you what it's made up of, over here in my objects list, I have my plunger guard and I have my plunger. The plunger is just the this little piece right here, which is three pieces of geometry, sorry, that are put together into a volume, and it gives me this nice soft edge here. And this is one piece, and then I used a squash cylinder for the top, and because of the settings I had, it was giving me a lot of curve on both of it. Both the top and the bottom, which I didn't want. I actually wanted more of a smooth top, so I added a second cylinder right on top of the first one, moved it up slightly, which then gave me a sharper edge up here on the top, which was really cool. But anyway, let's hide those because we don't care about that right now. I just want to talk about this. So this object, if I open up this plunger guard here, here's the volume builder. This thing called plunger guard here, this is actually a mesher. But here are all the things that I used to make up the geometry itself. So I'm going to turn off the builder. And here you can see all of the pieces of geometry I use. So this first one, this base, I built using a spline. So just went into the top view, drew a spline, used the symmetry tool to mirror it, welded the two splines together, extruded it to get this right here. I went in and edited some of the points to change the shape a little bit, because this obviously is not completely flat. Then I threw that into my volume builder, and then I started adding pieces. So then this cylinder creates the hole cutting through it. There is a sphere here which actually cuts out a little bit of the geometry I'm creating here, which is another sphere, which just kind of adds the volume that you see right here. And then these three cylinders, this one, and this one, are the little mold remnants that are left in here because I wanted to add more detail. So I'm going to turn this back on, and you can see the entire completed piece of geometry. But if I go into the volume builder and start turning some of these things off, so let me turn some of these off, and you can see there's the main object in the volume builder. Then I'll turn on the large volume sphere that added this little bump on the bottom here. Then I've got the hole, which is another sphere, I'm sorry, a cylinder, which cuts through it. Let me turn the smooth layer on here. Then I've got this bevel sphere, which then cuts this little bevel out of this volume. And then just for fun, I put in the little mold pieces just to make it look that much more realistic. Just, you know, because why not? So there's the plunger again, and let's go turn these things back on. So here's my entire object, and let me swing it around to the front, and you can see down here, let me actually open up a new preview. There. So now what you're looking at is the entire object. I still have to do the shader on this. This one's bugging me. It's a translucent, not transparent object that I still have to be able to see the threads that are in there. If I throw my let's see, if I throw my, let's just throw up the, which connector? Is it this one? Nope. I think it's this one. I've been experimenting. No, that's not it. Oh, sorry. So let's get rid of these. There we go. So you can see, you can see what I did here. The advantage to the volume builder is if you look here, I modeled the threads that are inside the plastic so that at the right angle they show up properly. You can actually see the interior threads of the geometry, which is really, really nice. Absolutely loving the quality on some of these shaders. Anyway, I just thought you might find that interesting.